8 a.m., hour number 2 underway right here on Jocks, Tuesday, August the 12th. Appreciate you guys tuning in. 800-239-9569. You want to get in. Had a lot of feedback on Twitter and via text about the Brady statue from over the weekend. Did you see this thing?
Yeah.
I mean, you saw, but you actually saw the statue. You didn't just see that they did it.
Yeah, I just saw the statue. I didn't see like the whole pomp and circumstance behind it.
But they're right. It's the dimensions are not accurate. The shoulder's way too broad for the size of the head that's on this thing.
Big shoulder pad era. So they got him in early years.
That would have been the late 90s. I wonder, though, if Brady said this intentionally. He's like, people think that all this has gone to my head, so if you could just shrink my noggin a little bit, that would
seems like
help with some of this. Now, I'll say this. The Dwayne Wade statue is still worse.
Oh, absolutely.
And the Cristiano Ronaldo statue
is awful.
The all-time worst. People look at these when they're finished, right? Like someone stood this up and said, there it is. We did it. Hold on a second. Like nobody came to the artist and said, that skull is it's tiny.
Right.
It doesn't fit.
Maybe they should have went to his long hair era.
What are we doing there?
I've never seen Tom Brady ever do that.
It takes me back to the old Public Enemy days right here.
It's a weird look. Like, because I thought they would probably do something when he does, like, his pregame thing where he's, like, screaming to the opposite side or... When
he's doing the head butts.
Maybe something like an action shot of that, but I've never seen Tom Brady do that.
If somebody would ever enact a statue of you, what would you want to be doing in said statue? I guess it would be, like, what for? Like, if somebody was going to give me a statue for being a football player, I would want to be playing football.
Right.
I wouldn't want to be celebrating.
Like, there's plenty of action shots of him,
Can you not just have me dropping back?
Exactly.
Now, okay, so let's flip this around. We gave Brady some credit there by maybe this is where he said, hey, shrink the head a little bit. I don't want people to think I'm arrogant. Maybe this is when he said, I'll show up for it, but the helmet needs to be off.
Maybe.
If I'm going to have a statue, I want people to see my face.
Well, it's exactly 12 feet tall, which is...
That's dumb.
Great, I guess, TB12.
Why do we make statues so much bigger than the individuals? If you're getting a statue, you're essentially larger than life for a lot of folks as it is.
Right.
Why do they need to be so much bigger than the person?
That is a good question.
I just don't know. And where do you, like, what's the scale of those dimensions? Like the Barkley statue is a lot bigger than Charles is in real life down at Auburn.
Absolutely.
The Cam Newton statue is gigantic.
Absolutely.
I think he's like 8.5, 9 feet tall. I mean, his shoulders are like 4 feet wide.
That is true.
Which is, I mean, you want a Heisman, you deserve a statue. But like, what's the scale of, hey, let's make this like 120% his actual size, 200% his actual size.
Maybe it's the play on he's larger than life. Maybe that.
You are getting a statue of you.
Sure. Maybe it's harder to get to the exact dimensions. Maybe not enough bronze or gold.
Do you think it would be cool to see a statue of yourself or weird to see a statue of yourself?
Initially kind of weird.
I think it'd be really weird.
And then afterwards, it would probably just grow and be like, oh, yeah, I'm right there.
Like if I was Brady and I saw the statue, I'd be like, the biceps need to be a little bigger. Not much definition in the arms there, bud. Could we at least like yoke those up a little bit for me?
Right. Because you start in Tom Brady's
first
defense,
off, I'm not that tall. So if we're going to fabricate things, let's get the muscle definition going a little bit.
Right. And you probably look, if you're Tom Brady, thinking like, okay, so what year did y'all do this? Was this the 2017 year? And
guys, that looks very Tampa Bay Brady-ish.
Right. Okay, y'all caught me on the back end.
Circumvent back to like the combine days. It's totally fair. Like the Cristiano Ronaldo statue, like there's a human who created that looked at the finished product and said, put the drape over it. We're ready to deliver it.
It's awful.
Box it up.
It's awful.
It looks like a cartoon character.
It really does.
I mean, and not a friendly cartoon character, like one of those New York Times political making fun of somebody cartoon characters.
And I kind of think about it like this. If it's a statue of myself and I don't necessarily approve, can I tell them to knock it down? Like, hey, let's try this again. Thank you. I really do appreciate it.
They unveil it and you say, nope.
No. Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I mean, it's a statue of me, so it's like.
Not approved.
Yeah. Like, couldn't y'all have given me a text or like snap us, give me a picture of like, hey.
I wonder if that's a part of the negotiating now. When people say,
should be.
We would love to put a statue up, would you mind coming and say, I'm going to need to see the finished product first?
Absolutely.
I will not share it with the public, but I'm going to need to give my final, I'm going to have to check off on this.
Yeah. And say, hey, maybe we push it back a couple dates and we're not there yet, but we really do appreciate it.
I'm trying to think if I know anyone personally that has a statue. I don't really think I do. I mean, Charles Barkley, Nick Saban would probably be the closest.
Yeah.
Coach Saban had it early too, man.
Oh, and they already knew.
Do you think he would take recruits by his statue? That's a pretty big win. And if you're recruiting against other people in a comparative fashion, there are no others that had that.
No.
At the time. I don't think there's another coach, maybe at their high school somewhere. I don't know. But who is a coach across the country that could say, let me walk you over to my statue? What do you think of that?
I think he's the only one.
Also, do you think Coach Saban should have had a different statue for every national championship?
Well, there's only so much room on the Walk of Champions.
Because Bear Bryant would have had a lot.
Right.
He could have had like the whole running man. Like every
year just passing it. Yeah.
Put them in a row, like left arm up,
yeah,
right arm up. Be like, you look real fast back and forth. It's like, oh, Bear's running.
It would. It's a lot of bronze, a lot of material. But yes, I think it's if you're Nick Saban, you kind of look at it as, all right, you're showing off, like, hey, this is the Walk of Champions. Kind of, if you look over,
you
there,
accidentally walk right past it and you don't mention it, and you hope the kid's like, hey, hold on. That's you.
Like you're giving a generic tour.
You're right. That is me. I didn't necessarily mean to bring you past that, but
if you look to your right,
that is. I mean, I do have a statue here. Maybe you could get a statue one day. A lot of wins to go before that. A lot of wins. And
yeah.
Alabama hadn't put their Heisman winners up yet.
That is true. Well, I mean, they're still, one of them isn't, but the rest of them are still pretty active.
No, it's fair. I mean, but that doesn't mean you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, for what you did there.
And if you want to
say. It's not a program that celebrates individuals.
You don't say.
Team accomplishments.
But, and since you're talking about life-size statues, I think Bryce would probably say, can you elevate mine just a tad?
Stop it.
Well, I mean, we're the same height. Like, it's fair game down there.
Which makes it more impressive what he's done.
Exactly.
Yeah, statues are interesting. Like Dwayne Wade, when he pulled, you almost saw his reaction when he pulled the curtain off of it.
Yeah,
it was like, who?
Dwayne Wade had an afro, and I was
who is that?
That's not him.
Which statue did you purchase and then put the jersey on to say that's me? Because that's not me. It isn't.
Shaq has a statue outside of
LSU. Yeah.
And his was like
he's like Duncan. That's what I'm saying. Like, why would you not want to be active in whatever sport it was? Like Cam's like dropping back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, doesn't have a helmet on, so it's like, what was his warm-ups?
Got him in pregame. Got him in pregame.
Like, I think Bo's running, but like no helmet on. So I guess you could just take the helmet off and have him in an action shot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, once again, like if I'm a baseball player, if I'm Barry Bonds and I get a statue, I want to be mid-swing.
Whew.
Or, you know what? Actually, I want to be probably just about to drop the bat after a McCovey Cove splash hit that I know was going like 480.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one would work also.
Does King Griffey Jr. has a statue, doesn't he?
I don't believe so.
Man, trying to replicate that swing in statue form. It's a Kodak moment.
He probably should. There we go. King Griffey Jr. statue. Yes. Right out there outside the park.
Okay.
So next question. All the guys that have statues, when said park is destroyed and new park is built, do they just move them?
Oh.
I don't know if there were statues at Candlestick. I went to Candlestick once to watch a 49ers game. I don't remember seeing any statues. It's a very odd entrance into that place for a football game. But did they just move them over to Pac Bell / AT&T / Oracle / whatever that stadium's called now? I don't know.
I've never thought of that.
Because, I mean, he could have had one at the Kingdom. My son has MLB The Show 25, and we were talking about the Polo Grounds over the weekend.
Oh, man.
And, by the way, I did not realize that the Polo Grounds was like 210 down the right field line. I knew center field was atrocious.
But get it down the line.
Because he said something like, he goes, yeah, so-and-so's he's like 460 feet. I was like, well, there's not really a 460-foot center field fence. He goes, yes, there is. And he goes and gets it, and he's scrolling through all the stadiums, and I was naming them where they all played, all the old ones, and it was Kingdom, and they're like, Astros. I'm like, it's not the same one as the Astros. That's the Kingdom where the Mariners played. So I guess he could have had it there, and then you bring it over to Safeco. Is it still called Safeco? I don't even know.
I think so.
I thought it was too, but these things change quickly, and sometimes we don't hear about it. So, all right, statues. Interesting topic. Not many people have them. Do we feel like Greg will have a statue one day?
Maybe in like the Rhodes Scholarship Committee fund, like maybe in that building.
Hamilton tweets in, do you guys think these sculptors are secretly sabotaging these athletes when they get to the facial features for their own hilarity? In the Cristiano Ronaldo instance, yes, I do.
Maybe
I think that gentleman hated him and said, I'm going to make you look like a cartoon character. There's one like black and white cartoon character who's like, it looks like his hair's kind of on fire, and I think he has glasses and his eyes are always wide open. I don't know what he's like used for certain things in GIFs maybe. Like that's what Ronaldo looks like in his statue.
Oh, yeah, and we have a correction on Safeco. The Mariners play at T-Mobile Park now.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
I thought that was the sponsor of the Home Run Derby. I didn't know that was the whole park.
Yeah, whole park named after me.
They just kept it there after they had the Home Run Derby. You know what? That's a good ring to it. Just keep that there. Royal Payne tweets in, if DeBoer gets a national championship, does the statue contain a hoodie or a polo? If you want it torn down, put it in the hoodie. Because we saw how mad people got about that last year.
That's why they were losing games. So I heard. He's got a hat on. Short sleeve hoodie.
Jolly tweets in, here's a quote for those seniors in programs that success comes through increments after they're gone. Blessed are those who plant trees under whose shade they will never sit.
And then we're getting philosophical.
I feel like that works for like Stanford.
Strikes me as such. Sounds like something Andrew Luck would say.
Oh, Kid Bama Kid tweets in. So the moral of the story is, if I play sports and I'm a decent player, there's nothing I can't do to get away with it? Was that on this show?
No, it wasn't.
No, it was an hour ago.
It was.
I would like to know what you're referencing.
I think the program. Wait,
the movie?
Yeah, I think so.
We haven't mentioned that today.
No, we haven't. But as far as, if you're a good football player, you can get away from some things.
But we also specified that Clark Lee was not – he used to get upset about small things.
Right.
Like being late for class or acting a fool in the weight room or maybe not having a high enough GPA. And now he's been able to overlook some of those things. And whereas in the past he would have suspended them for a half or a series or a game, he no longer does that.
Mm-hmm.
At no point in time did we mention things further down the line that guys may have been doing that were illegal or would have maybe had them in jail or further action could have been pressed upon them. We made no reference to those things.
Nope.
But that's where our brains go. So congratulations to you for that. Tell people how they can be a part of the Jocks Kickoff Party, please.
Yeah, absolutely. You can celebrate the kickoff to college football with us at the Bill Smith Buick GMC Jocks Kickoff Party at Regions Field on Thursday, August 21st. And the only way to go is by winning tickets. This week is the last week of qualifying. So to enter to win a pair of tickets, for you and the guests, text the keyword GO and your full name to 205-834-9450. The keyword is GO and your full name to 205-834-9450. Winners are drawn and notified daily. And for more information, visit jocksfm.com. All
right, going to get back to discussing Alabama's new starting quarterback next, right here on Jocks. Well, I'll tell you what, people get upset about the stadium names when you get them wrong. I can't keep up with all of them. It's like the transfer portal. There's no way you can keep up with all of them. They change almost annually, and some we don't reference all the time, and I'm going to always go back to the ones that they originally were. It's always going to be Pac Bell Park to me in San Francisco. Sorry, it just is. I don't do the corporate name changes. It's always going to be the same, the first one to me. That's just what it is. They'll never be the Las Vegas Raiders. Sorry. Can't do it. Certain ones you just can't change. Certain ones you can't look at and say, oh, yeah, now that's what that one's called. That's going to be different. You just got to stick with what it was. But you can change your health at Game Day Men's Health if you're looking to do that. It's easy as well. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com, GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Sign up for a free consultation. You're going to get a free PSA test, free testosterone test. They'll give you baseline health where you are right now. Once they let you know what your numbers look like, where you are, they have multiple programs to help you either have more energy, get better sleep, not feel on edge, get rid of brain fog, or lose weight. A lot of different ways they can help you just be better on an everyday basis. So go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com today. Sign up for that free consultation. Tell them you heard about them on Mac and Cube. Save 10% on any service that they offer. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Christian Clemente joining us now on the Higginbotham Hotline. He covers the Auburn Tigers. And just wanted to get an update of how some things are going through camp. It sounds like Jackson Darnold, the offense, did some good things on Saturday, and maybe he is beginning to progress while also seeing more things defensively. Christian, what have you seen? What have you observed? What have you heard about sort of how Jackson Arnold and the offense are advancing through fall camp?
Yeah, Cole, we got to talk with the offensive staff last night in some interviews, talked with Ken Austin, the quarterback coach, talked with Derek Nix, the offensive coordinator. They both echoed kind of what we've heard in terms of Jackson has been progressing pretty well. He graded out really well in the scrimmage that they had. Despite some offensive struggles, they were pleased with what he did. Last Thursday, we were out there for the entirety of practice. They opened it up to the media for the whole practice, and it was probably the best day that we've seen. And we've seen maybe 5 or 6 practices, and a good chunk of them at that. So Jackson has been definitely progressing well. The one thing that Ken Austin mentioned last night, and the thing that we've heard and noted several times as well, is probably still holding onto the ball a little bit too long in different scenarios, still maybe a little bit too hesitant. So they're trying to get him to push the ball out a little bit faster in certain scenarios. But overall, the coaching staff's been pretty pleased with him this fall camp.
I felt like some of the messaging around Saturday scrimmage, too, is how much the defense was doing. Freeze told us at media days that he was kind of pulling back on that, not allowing his coordinators to do more. Is that actually changing with what he's seeing every day in practice?
Yeah, I would say so. The defense has certainly caused some fits on certain days. The coaching staff last night said it's been pretty back and forth. Some days the offense kind of dominates. Some days the defense kind of dominates. And look, some of the days that we've been out there, it has been the defense dominating. The offense has struggled at times, and Auburn's defense was definitely a strength last year, and there were question marks going into this camp. Certainly interior defensive line, linebacker. You lost a lot of guys at those spots, but those are some of the positions that have been really, really strong throughout camp. Xavier Atkins, the LSU linebacker transfer, didn't play a whole lot his freshman year last year, but he was a guy that DJ Durkin loved out of high school back when he was recruiting him at Texas A&M. He's really flashed in camp. DeMarcus Riddick, they've kind of limited him as he still comes back from a shoulder issue that he dealt with in the spring. But he's done well. The middle guys at linebacker, Robert Woodyard, Caleb Wheatland, the freshman Elijah Melendez have all looked good. And then that interior defensive line, I mean, those guys, there were a lot of question marks about how disruptive they could be, especially against an Auburn offensive line that this staff feels really good about. So far, they've caused them some issues. And I think Durkin has kind of let those guys loose. They've rotated a bunch of different guys, and on certain days during camp, they have absolutely caused some issues for this offense.
Christian Clemente joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline, discussing Auburn camp so far, how it's been, where they are. Is the running back position sort of sorting itself out as far as an order of who will get the first carries, maybe the most carries in the early portion of the season?
To be honest, Cole, the answer is it's a hard no. And we asked Derek Nix that last night, said, what's this looking like? And he said it's still too early to tell in terms of who's going to get the most carries. Look, you're not going to see a guy get 20 carries a game. And even with Jarquez Hunter last year, we didn't really see that all that often either. For this team, the three guys in Damari Alston, Jeremiah Cobb, and Darrell Robinson. Those are the veterans, although Damari and Jeremiah Cobb haven't played a ton of football during their time at Auburn. Darrell has when he was at UConn. Those are going to be the guys getting the bulk of the carries, but I think Auburn is still sorting through who they want to go to in different situations, who is going to close out a game, who's going to be out there on 3rd and 5, situations like that. So there's still a lot to be figured out there. I think Auburn feels good about the guys they have, and they feel really good about freshman running back Omar Mabson, although I think he's pretty clearly behind those other three, but he's flashed this camp. So still some things to figure out there for who could start, who could close out a game, who's going to get the bulk of the carries this season.
All right, you had a write-up yesterday on Malcolm Simmons, and Auburn's Title IX has cleared him to participate in team activities, now been cleared of all wrongdoing in his legal matters as well. What details can you add to this that might clarify it for people as to sort of how and why he's been able to get to this point with the team?
Yeah, so our Jason Caldwell had a great story. I guess it was start of fall camp when he got cleared to actually practice, and noted how as soon as Malcolm was arrested and all that popped up with the domestic violence charges, how it instantly went to a university investigation, not an Auburn athletics investigation. University investigated it, found that everything was good, that he was cleared to practice. From there, the legal proceedings kept going. I think it was last Friday his case was brought up, and they requested it to be, I'm not remembering the exact phrasing on it. This is bad radio, but requested it to be confidential because he was under 21. And then yesterday the case was cleared. We had heard pretty quickly within, I would say, a couple of days after Malcolm was arrested on the domestic violence charges that everything from his camp felt like the charges were going to be cleared. Everything was good, whether that be a miscommunication on, the arresting report said that there were bruises on her neck. People felt like that was a bit of a miscommunication, and those were hickeys and not bruises. And so things like that all kind of culminated together, and, Auburn University held its investigation, found nothing wrong, and then the case very quickly got dismissed. So good news for Auburn football, and more importantly, good news that seemingly nothing wrong there in what's obviously very serious legal matter.
So we heard from Ken Austin yesterday also. You referenced it just a little bit more, and Jackson Arnold maybe need to get the ball out a little bit more quickly. The receiver room has gotten all the praise in the offseason. Are you expecting, based on what you've seen, heard through fall camp, that group to live up to the hype?
I am, honestly. It's tough to imagine a defense being able to handle Cam Coleman, Eric Singleton, Malcolm Simmons all out there on the field at once. And then you look at some of the guys that have flashed this camp as well. Talking with Marcus Davis, talking with those guys yesterday, he said that Bryce Kane has taken a step forward. He said that Perry Thompson has really, really flashed at certain times. And, we were out there at practice last Thursday that I mentioned beforehand, and there was one skelly drill where Perry was kind of jogging through it, and Freeze got on him. I mean, he was on him for a couple minutes, more than I've maybe ever seen Hugh Freeze kind of ripping on a player and trying to get him better. And it just so happened that we were scheduled to talk with Perry after practice that day, so got a chance to kind of talk with him about it a little bit, which provided some unique opportunities to hear what he had to think about it. And it was really good. He said he really appreciated it. He said he loves that this staff is on him, holding him to a high standard. So you've got guys like that. You've got Horatio Fields. Everyone on that offense last year, the Freeze Four, as they were called, Marcus Davis feels like they've all taken steps forward in different areas. So if that's true, and everything that we've seen in camp so far backs that up, and then you add a guy like Eric Singleton, you add a guy like Horatio Fields, it feels like all you really need is Jackson Arnold to take some shots and get the ball in the right spot for them, and they'll be able to handle some things.
Is there any more clarity to the tight end position and maybe who can help Auburn excel there and maybe what other bodies might actually be contributors this season?
Yeah, I would say, through the first couple of weeks of fall camp, the name that we were watching the most going in, the name that was the projected starter was Brandon Frazier, who's back. He's been on campus for a long time. But the name that's flashed the most in the first couple of weeks is Preston Howard, the Maryland transfer. He looks like the best of the bunch when it comes to just about everything in that room, honestly. Athleticism, catching the ball, moving out in space, blocking. He feels like he's going to be the lead guy, just from what we've seen. May not start that way to start the season, but it feels like he's come on pretty strong. Look, Brandon Frazier is going to still contribute. He's one of the bigger bodies in that room. He can be an inline guy, and he can go out there and catch some passes as well. But I would definitely lean more towards Preston Howard. And then, look, the former offensive lineman, Tate Johnson, it's kind of a funny story of him moving from playing center to playing tight end, but he's going to get a decent chunk of snaps, I think, this season, more than people maybe expect. As a blocking guy and an H-back in this offense. No,
because I've seen actually some, they released the still photos after practice, and he's actually been a couple of those catching the ball. You would imagine that they're not accidentally getting him in those pictures that often. So it makes sense that he's a guy that actually would be a pretty decent contributor there. I imagine most of that based on the physicality, but have you been able to see him catch some balls, run some routes? Does it look smooth?
It looks decently smooth for a former center out there. I don't know how many targets he's going to get on the year. It feels like when he does get targets, it'll be little leak outs, maybe broken play, and he kind of just finds himself open and the quarterback finds him. But he's definitely going to play a chunk of snaps more than people maybe would expect.
Absolutely. All right, Christian, thanks for the time today, man. Really appreciate it. Thanks for catching us up on Auburn football. We'll do it again soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Cole. Appreciate it.
All right, Christian Clemente covers the Auburn Tigers, joining us on the Higginbotham hotline. You can follow him on Twitter at @CClemente247 and does a great job covering Auburn athletics. So we'll follow up on some of that. We go around the SEC in the 8 o'clock hour every day now leading up to kickoff. We'll do that. Get McElroy back in right after this on Jocks. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. I want to issue an apology to the listeners as Greg rejoins us after accompanying his children to school for the first day.
We back.
Bama Hater tweeting in, damn, just ad-lib the statue subject to death. Run DMC, it's time for your own show. MC and Goob is boring, predictable, and boring some more.
Heck yeah.
So
we rip. Doing something right. Ayo.
It's consistently told to us how bad we are by this individual and how we don't know football and we don't know things. But for some reason, those tweets consistently come in. I guess there are just literally zero options out there to listen to, which I would actually invite you to go check out. Could give 2 expletives if you listen to me any morning here moving forward. Good effing bye is what I would say. Holla at you. Don't
Holla
care.
At you, boy.
Welcome back, G-Mac.
How was first day of school?
We rip. I'm not going to lie, I'm blowed.
Wasn't that bad, was it?
I gave it all I had today. It's just an overwhelming day. Like, you're a little emotional. Your kid's going to first grade. Like, he no longer cares that you exist. Like, it's just a lot of things, you know?
Yeah.
Last year, it's like, can you walk into school with me? It's like, no, buddy, you got to go with one of your older friends. Like, that's the rule. You walk in with one of your older friends that have been there before. Now it's like later. Flicks me off as he walks into the school. Like, it's like, I mean, not really. He gave me a little shaka, but it was close enough.
Like, now y'all just home.
Hang loose, bro.
Appreciate the
All
ride.
right, brah. Later, dude.
Appreciate the ride, big homie.
Yeah. Murked
So
me.
they don't let you guys go to the room first day?
No.
They let everybody went to the rooms. We went to the rooms on the first day, except the older 2 just wanted to take the youngest to his class. That's all they cared about. And I got that from my daughter going to 5th grade. She was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I was like, nope. Last day of elementary school, walking you to class. Sorry. You can be mad at dad all you want. It's happening. Tough. Sorry about it.
Dad's not cool and he's boring. Boom.
boring, and then boring some more.
Yeah, you're
according to said
a
tweet.
double threat.
Yep. Double them up.
I'll say this. First day of school is always like, and even as like a grown man, it's kind of hard to like drop your kids off at school. I mean, look, I'm not going to sit there and like burst into tears. That's not really my style, but it's hard. It's like, here you are all summer. Like, man, I can't wait for school to start. I can't wait for school to start. This is exhausting. I can't go throw any more coach pitch baseballs at you. I can't go play catch in the yard. Like, I got to do some work. Like, we're getting ready to get going. Man, I don't know, dude. It's like your little buddy. You know what I mean? It's like your little buddy is going off to first grade. And I know it's not like we still have a lot of time in elementary school, but it's like you look at the pictures from last year, you look at the pictures this year, it's like he's a completely different kid.
Yeah, wait till you do it for 3.
Oh, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
But it's super fun, super blessed. Love where we go to school. Teachers are amazing. Kids are amazing. Like, it's just awesome. It's just hard to send them off. You're no longer in control.
It's tough. I mean, you think that's tough. You should try not being boring on the radio every morning. Whew.
Well, I mean,
speaking of tough,
I've given up on that.
Yeah, it's
super boring.
Difficult.
You don't become number one in mid-markets in the morning drive on accident.
No, not true.
They usually give that declaration to boring shows. I've been told that. It's what we call a participation trophy.
I'll take it.
3 years
yeah.
It's not a boring award.
If you ain't first, you're last.
I want to get your thoughts on Ty Simpson being named the starter.
Not a boring award.
Not a boring award. Don't give that to boring. Nope. Want to get your thoughts of Ty being named the starter.
Yes.
You were very complimentary yesterday after seeing him on Saturday.
I had about 400 emails, by the way, of like Google alert, Mac and Cube.
What does that
alert.
mean?
Like, I don't
Google
know.
alert.
My agent sent me all these
People
things.
are Googling you?
I guess my agent gets one every day, and there was 400 yesterday about how we talked about the Bama scrimmage.
I had a couple weird texts yesterday, like, what was wrong with you? And were you trying to get the people going? And I kind of ignored the first 2 or 3, and then finally I said, well, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, he was like really positive. I was like, okay, go somewhere else.
Like, I shouldn't be positive?
Essentially saying that was surprising. I was like, he's been positive on Ty Simpson all year for 2 years. Thought he had a chance to win it last year. And what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I don't get Google alerts though. People don't Google boring. That's one thing I've learned.
Heck yeah.
The Google alert on boring is not real. You know what else you don't get for being boring? A statue.
Why y'all gotta hate
Not
on
getting that either.
Why y'all gotta hate on Ronaldo?
I'm trying to ad-lib the statue conversation still. By the way, I like that he thought that I'm ad-libbing the statue conversation. What conversation do you not think I ad-lib every morning? Do you think these are scripts that I come in here and read for like 3 hours every day? That's what you think I do? Like I come in here and just like, today on Mac and Q. Hold on, let me get line number 2 for you. And that's how it works. I appreciate that you think that's how it works. That literally people come in here and read sentences on a microphone. I appreciate that. I like that. Because it tells me you couldn't do it. So you'd have to come in here and read it.
Usually the best ones are the ones that totally just read off the prompter. I didn't know that we had a prompter.
That's why Ron Bergen got a whole movie.
Yeah, well, he got in trouble.
2 of them.
No.
Well, we only count 1.
People still thought it was entertaining.
I've seen worse.
Tell us about the timing of this, though. Did this need to happen now? Was this just because of it was blatantly obvious? Is this some sort of what the install can now turn into, how the reps are going to be distributed in a different way? What do you think about the timing of when this happened for Ty Simpson in Alabama?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that Ty is a young man that is an endorsement is going to be beneficial mentally. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm the man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the man. This is my team. Like, that is a really, really powerful thing. To where you are no longer looking over your shoulder. You're no longer worried about anything external. You're exclusively focusing now on getting yourself prepared for Florida State on day 1. You're no longer trying to compete with the other guys. I think it's a phenomenal thing for a quarterback to get that endorsement. It's huge. Now, I never went through a formal endorsement. Never did. That was not the way Coach Saban did things. But man, I would have liked it. I would have liked it to have it reassured to the rest of the team. Not that it was necessary, but to have it reassured to the rest of the team. Hey, this is our guy. Like, y'all are going to war. Y'all are going to battle together. He's your leader. Let's rock and roll. Like, it would have been great to have. And I think Kalen, having played the position, I think Kalen, having been around the position, having coached that position hands-on, I think he understands the benefit that the quarterback can gain from being endorsed by his staff to the team. And I think it's a great thing. I think it's fantastic. And by the way, it was not a surprise. I think all those that are freaking out about the possible ramifications for the other two guys, those other two guys have had really good camps. I mean, I thought they looked great for where they're at. I think Austin Mack has a chance to be a real player. You know, I think that's a really good thing to have. I also am very bullish on what I've seen from a skill set standpoint from Keelan. Now, as far as the management of the game, situationally, getting everything lined up, the actual operation itself, there are areas to improve there. He's focused on him when, as the quarterback, you got to be worried about everybody. And guess what? If I was a freshman, I'd be focused on me too, because there's enough going on in my head to not worry about so much about where the split is for the slot receiver. And whether or not I send this guy a motion at the appropriate time, and whether or not we have the correct personnel in the field, you know, things like that. So it's hard enough to worry about what you got going on as opposed to worrying about everybody else. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. So I am super optimistic about what I've seen so far from him, and remain bullish on what he's going to become in the future. I think yesterday was a great day for Ty. It was a long time coming. He'd worked his tail off. He was disappointed in coming up short 2 years ago in the quarterback competition, just didn't have his best stuff in spring or in fall camp, and has put his head down, been a good teammate, has worked his tail off to get to this point, now have a chance to lock down the job, and he did. It's fantastic. So congrats to him. He should now use this as a confidence boost to kind of propel him to what he's capable of becoming this year.
Yeah, it's I was happy to hear it just because I know kind of what he's been through, and I love seeing a guy that sticks it out and continues to put in the work, finally get their due. I think we talked in the beginning of the show when you weren't in, just that the reasons I think he can have a good season, and it's different than some others. It's not how fast he can run, how far he can throw it, how hard he can throw it, how talented he is. I just think he's got the making with what's around him to help the team put together a really good season and a really positive season. The other thing that I appreciate too is that, like, go to the Alabama football account on Twitter right now and just scroll down. There's no graphics. There's no cute slogan. There's no catchy phrase. None of that.
Business, brah.
None of that. Not necessary. And I think by doing it now, you take away a little bit of the distraction that could have been closer to the season, where a lot of folks would have looked at it and said, oh, why is this dragging on? Oh, why is this not settled? Oh, why are we waiting? Oh, now's the time. And then have some questions that would go along with that when you're in the middle of game week preparing for Florida State. So you remove a little bit of that by getting it done now. Also, GMAC, where you're not going to have to talk about this for the next 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
You're good. It's solidified.
And for the record, a quarterback competition, as much as we want to acknowledge the importance of it, it's a distraction, dude. Like, it is. It's a distraction. And the longer you let it linger, and the longer you allow guys to kind of force their way into the competition, and or now every single thing, this thing continues on, everything that Ty does is scrutinized to the highest degree, and oh man, well, Austin's making up ground or whatever. Like, it's done. Like, Ty's the 1, Austin's the 2, Keelan's the 3. Let's rock and roll. Keelan and Austin, y'all keep battling. Keep battling because you're one play away. And I need to know who's the next man up. Like, right now, I think it's Austin. I think it's a decent gap there, too, to be honest with you, but it doesn't really matter at this point. That allows now Keelan to say, all right, I know where I fall in the pecking order. Let me put my head down and get to work. Like, I'm good with that. Hey, guess what? I threw my best punch. I'm a true freshman. I got a ton of ability. Let me put my head down and get to work. I'm going to get bigger. I'm going to get stronger. I'm going to have better comprehension of the offense. I'm going to study the plan like I'm going to go in the game and start. But guess what? I can focus more on me this season and my own personal development so that when I get a crack at it again and this job opens up again, like it will every year, I'm going to be in great position to go compete. I love it. I think it's just a fantastic spot to be in.
Absolutely. There are other quarterbacks that are being announced, other starters that are being announced. But first, tell our listeners about Shannara Flooring.
Well, Fu and his guys have built their company on foundation of trust and integrity. I've always appreciated the experience I have when I've gone with Fu and the guys. They just do a great job. They're always very, very upfront. They always take great care of your home. You know, it's a busy job. It's a dangerous job when it comes to taking care of your home. They're going to do it. They also have 40,000 square feet of Core-Tech flooring by Shaw in stock, and you could stack some savings if you buy that Core-Tech flooring today by going to fuandyou.com. You get $10 off per box if you buy the Core-Tech from Shannara Flooring. It's really nice flooring, super durable, going to add value to your home or business. Highly recommend you taking a look at that Core-Tech flooring. It's really, really good stuff, and it is extremely durable. Extremely durable. So highly recommend you go and check them out. Save that $10 off per box. You can stack the savings. 12 months financing is available by going to fuandyou.com. That's Shannara Flooring, fuandyou.com.
Now, I will say I don't ad-lib every read that I do for some of our customers here that advertise with us, and I apologize to them for that. Sometimes you do have to read the scripts on those. Sometimes they're ad-libbed also. Because I know ad-libbing things feels like an impossible part of radio, but we are able to pull it off on occasion.
I mean, I love so much that you are
stop reading your script.
I love so much that you're so dialed in on just making sure that every single segment of the show is actually like rehearsed and scripted. Because I didn't know that. That to me is great. It's fantastic to know.
Yeah. Now you know, and knowing is half the battle. I had that written down right here. Stole it from G.I. Joe.
Heck yeah.
Back with more Mac and Cube next. You want to jump in on Ty Simpson being named the Alabama starter, 800-239-9569, 800-239-WJOX. You can get in now. Not the only starter being named, Greg, not the only former quarterback that has worn an Alabama uniform being named a starter. Dylan Lonergan named the starter for Boston College as they will open up against Fordham here in a couple of weeks. So
he's going to be good.
What is the count of guys, Alabama quarterbacks who are all on the roster at one time now being starters at some place? It's got to be like 4, right?
Oh.
Pitt, Boston College, Alabama. Is there one more out there that I'm missing?
Trying to think. I think the number one in the clubhouse about starters elsewhere is A&M, but Bama's probably not far behind. A&M has 5 guys that are starting. 5 former Aggies starting in college football this year.
And I feel like that's happened multiple times.
You want to let's see if you can get them all.
I can't.
All right, you ready?
Connor Wigman, Houston.
Zach Calzada, Kentucky.
That's the one.
Well, he was an Auburn. He's an Auburn guy. That's
Hold
right.
on a second.
That's
Wait
my
a
fault.
second. Have we seen an official announcement there?
He will.
It's
okay.
understood.
Next up.
It's understood.
Yeah.
Haynes King.
Already got Haynes King.
Okay.
Marcel Reed, obviously, starting at A&M.
Has that been announced?
What's understood ain't got to be explained.
Does it need to be?
Throwing it out there. Who's another A&M quarterback that's somewhere else now? Did Jacob Zeno leave and is now starting somewhere else?
I don't know.
I don't have another one.
Jalen Henderson, West Virginia.
Okay. You would have had me on that one.
Gotcha. Just one more.
Just figured Garrett Green was back. Yeah, like I said, I'm lost on this. I don't know. I did not script this segment.
Are you
so
ready?
I'm attempting to ad-lib this and I'm failing.
Not yet announced, but in the mix. Max Johnson, North Carolina.
I like how we're just giving all these
5.
We're just
Wait
giving,
a minute.
We're just
Where?
giving all these
North Carolina.
Yeah, Max Johnson's back at UNC.
He's still playing?
Oh, yeah.
Not announced
Think
as
about
a
that,
starter.
though. 5 Aggies could be starters in other places. That's a lot. Bama's got 4, though. That's a bunch.
I feel like there was a time, though, when Kyle Allen was starting somewhere that there was like 6 or 7 former A&M quarterbacks that were
You're not
somewhere.
wrong.
Kyle Allen, Kyler Murray,
Starkle guy.
Nick Starkle.
Nick Starkle.
There was a bunch of them that were playing somewhere else.
Oh,
Max Johnson is still playing.
They can
college
recruit
football.
quarterbacks there in College Station. Can't always hold on to them, but they can recruit them. So Bubba wants to chime in on the Higginbotham hotline. Welcome in, Bubba.
Hey, Cole, I got to tell you something. I like Greg. I mean, he got us a national championship. Thank you, Greg. But Cole, man, it kind of concerned me what y'all said earlier about people calling saying you're boring and all this stuff. Listen, guy, I don't like a lot of Auburn. I don't like Auburn at all, but people like you and a guy named Don, and there's a teaching assistant for my boy who's got cerebral palsy when he was young. Auburn, her brother was the kicker for Auburn when Pat Sullivan was there. Y'all are great people. I want to tell you, man, you are very interesting. You bring a lot to us Bama fans. Even though you're an Auburn man, I mean, you are fair, and you have all kinds of interesting stuff. You tell us about football. I just wanted to tell you, man, we appreciate you.
He's fine.
I appreciate that, Bubba.
He's fine, Bubba. Let's not get carried away.
He didn't say anything about not being boring, though.
No. I do agree that he's boring, but there's a lot of good things he does, too. See, Bubba finding the silver lining.
I love that. Golden Domer always finds the silver lining. Welcome in, Domer.
The golden lining, my friend. The golden lining.
Top of the morning, Domer.
Top of the morning. Now, look, I've been calling this radio station for legit 20 years, okay? And as much, and I'm usually on my own, I feel like I'm me versus the SEC a lot of times. That's fine. That's how I like it, And as much as I would like to have an ally, to have somebody on the radio station that we can, join in this battle, Bama hater, you just can't do it, my friend. Everything that you call out the SEC or Alabama about, your team is the one that started it. You can't call in talking about schedules when your team plays a team that literally has a rattlesnake as a mascot. I don't even know what their name is. They played them for 15 years. Terrible out-of-conference schedules. Awful. Lack of travel. Yeah, we had to almost pay for y'all's tickets to come up to South Bend when y'all took those beatings. Then you want to come in and talk about players getting arrested. There is a reason they call it Catholics versus convicts. You cannot ever talk about SEC and their standards. You are a Miami fan. You cannot call in and point out anything. Like my team, I can call and say that because my team represents that integrity and standard. You, my friend, cannot. So what I would like to tell you, Bama hater, as much as I, appreciate the fact that you're not scared to call on here, you can't be a hypocrite. And I want your coach to understand. He needs to look in that crystal ball and understand he's got a golden ass whooping coming. First game. Get ready, Bama hater.
Still didn't mention not boring.